a very different topic, but something that's very important at the same time. So yeah, over to you, Dhriti. Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, hi everyone. How are we doing today? You can unmute.
Hello, we are doing good. What about you?
I'm
Like,
doing
I'm
good.
doing good.
That's awesome. Okay, I was thinking before we start, we could have a small introduction to just get to know each other better. We're going to be here for 1 hour. I don't want it to feel like I'm just teaching you something. I think we're all the same age. I think we all can just kind of like be friends. So, would anyone like to introduce themselves? Like what your name is, what you like to do, and is what your name is, um, why you think, why you excited for this session, and what your hobbies are. Yeah, Mansi, go ahead.
Hello, like, I am Mansi and I like to read and write. So, I'm
Yeah,
excited for the class to like see what are we going to learn and
awesome.
learn
What do you
something.
like to read?
Sorry.
What do you like to read?
So, I read fictional novels.
Awesome. I love you now. I love fictional novels too.
Wow.
Awesome. Mohita, let's go.
Hi, I'm Mohita, and in free time, I like to read books, mangas, and watch anime. I'm very excited for today's session because I recently completed my 12th board examination. That's why I'm not able to attend one whole month STEMS lecture. That's why I'm very excited and looking forward to learn from you. Thank you.
Awesome. It's so interesting that you read manga and watch anime. I know nothing about it. So, like, when I see someone who reads manga and watch anime, I'm like, wow. You know. Also, congratulations for passing your 12th board exam.
No, I just finished the exam. Result that didn't come yet.
But you finished it, no?
Yes.
बहुत बड़ी बात है. Good job. Kushagra, is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, please. Hi, I'm Kushagra. I love to play cricket and watch cricket. I'm really happy to learn something new from you today, please.
Awesome. You just like to watch cricket, or you only or you play also?
I play also cricket. I love to
Awesome.
watch cricket too.
Awesome, Baba. Does anyone want to go next? How about Khushi? Khushi, do you want to go? Sure, Dinesh, come on.
Yeah, hi, myself Danish. So I have done my graduation in BSc IT. Currently, I'm working. So in my free times, I like to see new and informative, you can say short documentary or clips, just to keep updated myself.
That is so cool. I do the
Yeah,
same thing.
thank
That's
you.
cool. That's awesome. So, Danish, thank you for that. I think we have time for one more introduction. Does anyone else want to go? Sanya, what about you? Okay, I think we are ready to get started. So, today we are going to talk about bills. I'm sure this is something that no one likes to hear, but unfortunately, we have to pay bills for everything, anything and everything, from the candy that you buy at DMart to the rent to electricity, to water, to phones. So there's just so much that we have to pay bills for, and it's like really depressing. But when you figure out what bills are really, when you understand what bills are made out of, when you understand how you can save money on bills, when you understand how to kind of work the system, so to speak, you can really take your financial goals forward. You might want to save. That'll help you with that. Just understanding bills will make you so empowered because you know what you're paying for. And how many people can say that? Right? So, just going to kind of to get a feel of the room. Does anyone want to answer any of these two questions? For what do you think bills are, and what one word do you associate with bills? You can unmute whenever you want. Does anyone feel happy when they see a bill? No? Kushagra is saying no. Oh my God. We're like twins, bro. Uh, Mansi, what do you think? Do you feel happy when you see a bill?
Like we have used that thing, or like suppose we have used that good or service, so we have to pay anyways, whether we are happy or not.
Oh my God. That's so true. Um, let's see a few more bills. So have any of you paid your own bills? Danish, you said you're working. Have you paid any bills of your own?
Yeah, just the mobile bills and a bit electricity bill. That's it. Apart from that, not too much.
Mm-hmm. And when you started paying bills, is there something that you were surprised by?
Sometimes about the taxes or the GST that's include, like the final amount, it changes sometimes. So yeah, surprise about that only a bit.
Amazing. That is exactly what we're going to cover in this session. So I don't know how you read my mind, but like, okay. Um, so is there a bill that you never forget to pay? Sometimes, एक महीना जाता है and then, हमने water bill नहीं pay किया and then, we start panicking the next month क्योंकि पानी नहीं आया. So is there a bill that you never forget to pay?
No, right now it's not anything.
Oh my God, you're so responsible. To be like you when I grow up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is what I hope to be able to impart to you by the end of the session. I want you to be able to understand the parts of a bill. Anatomy is basically your parts, right? So I want you to understand the parts or anatomy of a bill. If you ever have any questions about a bill, right? Like about a specific bill. Why is my bill so high? What can I do, to maybe bring the amount down? What am I exactly paying for? Who do you reach out to in that instance? I want you to also be at the end of the session be able to gain more confidence with bills in general. Then, when it comes to phones specifically, because again, we're in the age of the internet, all of us have a phone and we need the internet. And how do we get the internet? By paying for data. We recharge data around once every month, once every 3 months, once every 6 months, according to our plan. So, how do you do this with knowing what you're doing, right? So have complete confidence when recharging a bill, how to choose the right plan. Sometimes we overpay, but we don't even really need it. We don't use it, right? So I want you to know that as well. And this is the most important piece. No, avoid wasting money. This is something that we hope to all achieve. Um, so this is probably the focal point of this session. But and also I want you to, oops, also I want you to be able to recharge. I don't know what's happening to my screen. 1 second. Okay, let's just hope this moves on. Okay, perfect. Okay, so does anyone know what utility bills are? Like when you say the word utility. Yes, Danish, tell me.
Maybe our household bills, the water, electricity, and etc.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Utility bills are one of the most important pieces that, regardless of which age you live in the 18th century, 19th, 20th, or 21st, which is the one we're living in, you need to pay utility bills. You need to pay for electricity and you need to pay for water. So these are like one of the most fundamental things that we need, to survive. So when it comes to paying any bill, right? Mostly when it comes to utility bills, you get three parts. You have fixed charges, you have usage charges, and you have taxes or fees. Now, these three things will always be there. And I'm going to teach you in this session how to look for them, how to understand them, and how to, kind of inculcate that in your daily life. So, does anyone know what fixed charges are? Oh, someone raised their hand. Mansi, please go ahead.
Yes, please. Like we will be paying fixed amount every month.
Very good. Sanya, you want to tell me about usage charges?
So yes, let if we are talking about a recharge, we have to pay fixed amount. If if I'm doing it for 2 months, so I have to
Hmm.
pay fixed amount every 2 months.
Hmm. That's very solid understanding over there. Does anyone know what usage charges are? Yes, Sanya.
So usage charges will be like electricity bill, like how much we have used in a month.
Mm-hmm.
On basis of that, we get charges. Yes.
Very good. And does anyone know what taxes or fees are? Mansi, I saw you raised your hand earlier. Do you want to go for this one?
I can try. Like
Sure,
the
sure.
amount we will be paying to the government for the like for the things we are using or
Very,
services we are using.
very good. Saloni, you want to also talk about taxes?
Hello.
Hi, Saloni. Yes.
Yes, like we are giving the taxes to government. That is
Mm,
fixed.
good job. So both of you said the same thing, and that's awesome. So clearly you know what you're doing when it comes to bills. But let's talk about, so basically you were in completely correct. The fixed charges are set fees. So even if I used nothing, I will still get a certain amount on my bill. Let's say I was like I have a house, right? And I did not go in that house at all because I was on vacation. Let's say for an entire month. I don't take vacations for a month, but okay, let's assume that we can do that. That school will not kill me. So let's say I went on vacation for a month. I would expect my bill to be zero because I didn't use any electricity. But Baba, I got 235 rupees in my bill. I didn't use anything. So that is what we call fixed charges. Usage charges, on the other hand, just like Sanya said, is how much you have used. They will charge you based on that. So your final bill becomes fixed charges plus usage charges. But Baba, this tax and fees came from somewhere. And it's honestly the bane of our life. I think Danish will definitely agree. So basically, you have extra money that you have to pay to the government for the fact that you have even used this service or good. In this case, it is electricity. But this is included in your Netflix subscription, your internet subscription, your phone recharge, your water, electricity, your rent. It's in every single bill. Okay. Um, okay. So this is a sample bill. And I wanted to see if I wanted to try this like little experiment. So I wanted to see if you can spot the fixed charges, the monthly charges, the usage charges, and the tax charges. Can anyone point it out? You all can annotate my screen or you can tell me where it is also. Up to you. Shamna, do you want to try?
Sure, please. I think the fourth one is monthly charges.
The fourth one, this one?
Fixed, yes.
Okay, that's a good try. Anyone else? You want to try for the others?
Trying.
Sure, tell me. Take it away. Okay, so over here it's written taxes. Over here we have one-time charges, we have usage and monthly rentals. These are four parts of the say, like they together make one bill that you will get at the end of a total of 531.83 rupees, right? Now, we've been told that fixed charges will stay the same no matter how much you use. So even if I use zero amount, I will still get this fixed charge. And over here is where our fixed charge is. I don't know how this pen is very thick. Okay, I hope you can see, but this is the fixed charge. Right now, I will get 450 no matter how much I use. Now, usage charges is based on how much I used, right? So over here I see it's zero. So probably this person went on vacation for a month. So थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ही अमीर है ये आदमी. पर you know, up to them, but their usage was zero. Now they have this thing, it's a little confusing. It's called one-time charge. Now, usually this stays zero, but one-time charge is a separate concept altogether. It's basically, when you pay for a service, your first time paying for that service, you get a one-time charge. And taxes, which are the additional amount that you give to the government. So right now the 450 plus 71 and 81.12 amounts are there of your bill. These are your components of your bill. Once you add them all up, you'll actually get 51.83. That is how your bill works. So now I've understood that this person has used zero amount and still owes 81 in taxes to the government, plus their fixed charge of 450.71 rupees. Is everyone clear until here? You can put a thumbs up on your screen. Cool. Awesome. Great. Okay, see a lot of thumbs ups over here. Awesome. So, okay. Now, this is a quick question, and you can unmute whenever you want. You don't even need to raise your hand. Which one do you think changes the most out of these three? Fixed charges, usage charges, and taxes and fees. Yes, Shamna.
Usage charges.
Okay, that is one answer. I will write Shamna over here. Right, S. Saloni, I think you raised your hand also.
Yes, please use it.
Usage charges. Okay, I'll write ST over here also. Sanya also said usage charges. Does anyone have a different answer? Everyone thinks it's usage charges?
Yes, please.
Yes, Tanish, tell.
I think that taxes will also change based on the thing that we are consuming.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, maybe
Good
the
observation.
rate of tax.
Good job. What about Kushagra?
I also feel taxes and fees charges will change something because it depends upon the component that we are using and it will increase the charge on that thing.
So you said
So that's
taxes
it.
and
Taxes and fees, please.
taxes and fees. Okay, cool. Does everyone agree with these options, or does someone think fixed charges also? Mansi says no. ये बहुत जल्दी बोल दिया. Okay, I will stop the suspense. All of you are right. The only thing that does not change are your fixed charges, and your usage charges and taxes and fees do change. But when it comes to changing the most, usage charges change the most because taxes and fees change in proportion and they are very little in terms of amount. They will probably change 10 rupees or 20 rupees. Your usage charges will hop 200 rupees, it'll get minus 300 rupees based on your usage per month. So it is the most variable or the most varying cost or the most varying part of your bill. Okay, so mhm. There's going to be a small activity where this is my first month's bill. This was my January bill, and this was my February bill. And you can see that it hopped 300 rupees more. Why do you think so? Does anyone have an idea? Yes, Saloni.
I think so. Charge will increase.
Mm-hmm. Good answer. Good answer. Okay, Kushagra.
I also feel usage because of usage charges it got increased.
Nice. And Mansi?
Is like you spent 300 more from previous bill or previous month.
Wait, so you're saying it's leftover from the previous month? No, I
It
didn't
has
get it.
because you have used more.
Ah, okay, okay. You are also saying usage charges then? Hmm? Okay, so you are absolutely correct. This bill hopped 300 rupees because of, well, mostly one thing, and that is usage charges. Now, is like 2 seconds away from telling me, oh, the taxes would have also increased with the usage. And he is absolutely right. But what changed the most was usage charges. Um, I hope everyone's clear with this and good job with figuring it out so quickly. Um, okay, so now when it comes to bills, there are certain things that we can control and certain things that we cannot control. Now, what do you think? So let's say I get my bill right at the end of the month. Now it's what, 27th February, and we'll get it what, 2 days later, and then we'll start crying. But what could we have done in that month to have controlled the amount of our bill? Does anyone have an idea? Yes, Saloni.
So I think the if I am using a like I am taking a electricity bill, so I will using properly, like if needed. So my money will decrease. I think so.
So you're saying if I control my usage, I can control my bill amount?
Yes, please. You just change.
I'll just write UC over here. Yes, Mansi.
I have the same answer. Like if we control our usage, we can control our our bill.
Good job. Does anybody else know what else we can control in our bill? Is there a certain part of our usage that we can control when it comes to electricity since Saloni brought it up? Um, Fatima, do you agree with Saloni and Mansi, or do you think there's something else also that we can control? Never mind. Is there something that we cannot control in our bill? Like, no matter how less we use, it'll still happen. Yes, Mohita.
Charges we can't control.
You said fixed charges?
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. Good answer. Shamna?
I think taxes also that we can't control.
Mm-hmm. Good answer. Sanya, also good answer. You give very good examples also. Yes, Saloni.
Yes, same answer, please. Rent and recharge. Fix.
Good job. So you would be right. Okay. But there are some more things that we can control, and let me open you out to what they are. So you absolutely nailed it on the head with what you cannot control. Great, everybody. We also got our usage right. But someone brought up electricity. So let's just talk about that for a second. When you talk about electricity, do you think that there are certain times of day when it is extremely hot? What do you think those times are? Do you think it's in the evening, afternoon, morning?
Afternoon.
You think it's afternoon?
Afternoon.
Yes. Does anybody else have a time when they feel really, really warm? Mm-hmm. And yes, Shamna.
At night.
Yes, thank you. Oh my God. I was hoping somebody would say that. So there are certain times in the day when we just absolutely need electricity. Can we sleep in a room without a fan? Some people can't sleep without AC all night. And I went on this trip with my friends once and they forced me to keep the AC on. I was feeling so anxious about the bill, Baba, don't ask me also. So, there are some people who just can't sleep without a fan or an AC, and that's valid. But think about in a city like Mumbai. Think about wherever you're living. Think about how many people would be using their fan and AC. Do you think that'll be a lot? Shamna saying yes, Saloni saying yes, Mansi saying yes. Okay, so y'all agree. So, do you think that during times of high demand for electricity, do you think that the price of electricity will also go up? Because a lot of people want it. Shamna saying yes, Saloni saying yes. I see. Okay. So, you would be absolutely correct. In the afternoon, like Mansi said, when it's extremely hot, we need the fan. We need an ice cream also, but that is not in electricity. So, but it our timing of using electricity absolutely matters. So sometimes if we've used AC a lot in the past month in the night to sleep, you will see the bill climb up. If you let's say you take compare two times of the year. Let's say you had winter and summer, and in the summer the evenings are extremely hot. I think everybody knows that, so we needed the fan and we needed the AC. But in winter, it is a little cooler, right? Little bit. Whatever delusion we think that India becomes cooler in the winter, that we have. So, less people will be using your fan and AC. So, don't you think the demand will go down? And that means your electricity will also go down. So your timing, not only of the time of the day, but even of the time of the year, which month you're using what also matters. So I'm not in any way saying don't use your AC or fan when it's hot. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be careful and be conscious. Those are the two most important things that we can do. Another thing is questioning errors, which is a new one. So, questioning errors is basically saying, I think this was wrong with my bill, and I'm going to ask someone, why I am paying so much, right? So questioning error, sometimes, your bill can be wrong. You don't have to sit and pay it immediately. You can ask them what exactly I paid for, when my usage was the highest. You can ask your provider for a whole bunch of things, right? And they actually do have access to that, and they can tell you so that you can actually control how much you use, one. And two, let's say they made an error, you would have just saved at least 50, 100 rupees. Come on. That's, I think that's a pretty good deal. If there's any way to save, we should take it. And what we can do when we question errors is taking back control of what we pay for. Yes, Danish.
Yes, please. I just want to add one more thing. Like as you said, so there was an incident happened. Like if we were having postpaid recharge, so
Hmm.
in 1 month we got an extra amount or a very high. So we asked in the company. So according to that, they gave us the expenses and all. Then we find out it was an error. Same goes with the electricity bill. Sometimes the charges are higher unit. So
Hmm.
yeah, matlab, if we find the error and we rectify it, we can save our money.
Danish, I don't know how you keep doing it, but you keep reinforcing my lessons and reading my mind for the rest of the lesson. Baba, what powers do you have? What are
No,
you working
I,
as? Work as a psychic, man.
no, I'm just connecting my thoughts with the PPT.
Whatever you're doing, it's very good. I
Thank you.
genuinely can't believe you got it. Very well done. So moving on. So, like Danish said, he got a sudden jump in fees. Now, that is when you question a bill. You don't go every month to your provider saying, Airtel bhai, mera bill itna kyun high hai? Please, we have better things to do than that. When our bill is suddenly very high, like in the first time we had 1200 rupees, then we had 1500 rupees. 300 rupees is a lot, baba. Let's ask the provider why that happened. Maybe it's usage, maybe it's an error, maybe it's extra taxes, maybe it's hidden fees that they didn't tell us about early you know so you can have any kind of reason to question your provider, and you have the right to do that. Another thing, you have new sometimes they introduce new fees, and sometimes they were hidden. They didn't tell you about it earlier. They never informed you. And if you didn't, and if you knew about this, you would never have even continued the service. So that is a time when you can question your bill, right? Now, that is another time to question your bill. Um, let's say you can compare 2 months, right? And you felt that the usage amount, like how much ever that you use, let's say electricity, you use the same amount, but your bill had a sudden jump. But you thought that the usage was the same. That's another time to question your bill. And sometimes, like in the sample bill I showed you, they had monthly rent, usage fees, one-time fees, and taxes. Sometimes, this is very rare, the breakdown of your services is not provided. Right now, that is probably the most red flag thing that you can think of, that you need to rush to your provider because you need to know what you're paying for. Sometimes you could be paying for things that you don't even know that you were paying for, right? So you could save a lot of money by just being conscious. And a lot of these companies, what they do, they just prey on the fact that you are not going to question the bill, or that you are too scared, or that you don't know what you're doing. And once they have you there, there's no going back, right? Now, when it comes to questioning your bill, who should you go to? Like Danish contacted his provider. Now, where did he find that? Here. Their Airtel. Now, see, I've given a sample bill of Airtel, so you'll get the Airtel number. So this is your sample number. This is the number that you reach out to. They would usually have contact info instead of Airtel number, but it is pretty much the same. Once you have this contact info, you can actually reach out to them. You can figure out what you're paying for, what your usage charges were, and how you can save your money better. Is everyone clear until here? You can give a thumbs up. Cool. Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, hmm. Now, like, like Our family members constantly tell us, eat vegetables, go to sleep on time, don't, what do they say? Don't eat junk food, don't eat chocolates, don't do this, don't do that. Sometimes you have healthy habits for bills also. And those healthy habits will keep you financially secure, safe, and informed throughout your life. And the first thing you need to do is compare months. You can check what you got the previous month, you can check what you got this month, you can check your breakup of your bill. You can see were the fixed charges the same. If they're not the same, that's usually some hidden fees that they've put in there. Go to your provider, talk about it, right? You can check your usage. You can by checking your usage, I mean, try and minimize the amount that you use. I'm not talking about just electricity, I'm talking about water, your phone, um, all of those kinds of bills. Another thing that you can do is keep old bills. This is super important because then you can actually compare months. Now, I'm not saying keep bills from 2021, but I'm just saying keep it for this year. Then you remove them, then you throw them, then you do what you want. Another thing, when it comes to questioning your provider, ask early. Sometimes, if you ask much later, they say that, oh, the cycle has already passed, no queries will be taken, you need to pay now to avoid being hit with late fees. So you need to ask early to be able to get the information get the information that you want, and also get the outcome that you want of having saved money or having your bill reduced. And this is a really interesting point, which is called don't assume fault. Now, when I say don't assume fault, don't think that your company is at fault all the time. Don't think you're also at fault the whole time. Sometimes it could be your fault when you use too much. Sometimes it could be the company's fault when they made a mistake. Don't assume that the other party is wrong just because you are on one side. Come in with an open mind, and you have the best chance for success when it comes to resolving your bill. And now we come to the phone bills, right? So every month, we sit and we recharge all of our phone utility items, right? So why does recharge matter? It is your money. It is the data that you are using. It is the way that you are safe on the internet because you're able to access the internet in the first place, right? And it's because you're independent. We live in the age of the internet. There is absolutely we live in the age of the internet, right? So we need to have that kind of independence where we can say we pay for the very thing that connects us to other people, the very thing that I don't know who said it. I think it was Danish who said that I love watching documentaries. You get the independence to do that once you recharge your own bill, right? So that's why your recharge matters. And sometimes, I would really appreciate it if you could tell me if you've had this problem. But some people are confused about which plan they should choose. Why, when they prepay for their data just finishes early. They can't receive calls anymore. They can't give calls anymore. Sometimes why money was taken away from them, was billed to them twice. Let's say I had a bill of 500 rupees, I ended up paying 1,000 rupees. Why? Sometimes they're confused about that. Sometimes they have two plans and they're very, very similar, but why does it cost different? Right? So you need to really be able to understand the finer parts of a recharge bill, which is why I kept an entire separate section for the phone. So what happens to a phone bill is it's slightly different. We had fixed charges, usage charges, and fees earlier. Now we have this new thing called validity. Now, validity is how much time your phone plan lasts for. It's usually 28 days. Sometimes you have 3 months. Sometimes you have 6 months. 6 months is what? 180 days. And you don't need to sit and guess this, or you don't need to remember this from the time that you sat and recharged your bill. They will actually give it to you in your bill. So don't worry about it. But this is how the phone bill works. And the basically the fixed charges and taxes and fees stay the same. When it comes to usage, it comes to the amount of data you use. Like, now you're on this call, you're probably using some data to connect with me and connect with the foundation. Sometimes you call your friends, you call your mom, you call your dad, and that also takes data because you're using the internet and those internet towers to actually connect you to your loved ones. And also sometimes you get SMS or you send SMS, or you give WhatsApp messages to each other. That is also all taking data. And validity, as we said earlier, it is the number of days that your plan is valid for. um Yes. So sometimes, I don't know if any of you have had this problem, but sometimes data finishes early. Now, when I first got my phone, which was not very long ago, and I'm 17, by the way, I used to be on a prepaid plan. And what used to happen is I would use the data because I did not know how mobile data worked. Very stupid kid. But I would just do it and it would finish. And I'd be like, Mummy, mera plan khatam ho gaya. Please recharge karo. Like I was a spoiled, stupid kid. But this is, the exact reason why, data finishes early. Sometimes you hit your data limit. Once you have reached 1.5 GB per day, this is an example, your internet just stops working. Once you've used your entire plan, let's say you had 20 uh to 2.25 GB that you could use, and you've used 1.5 GB a day. Sometimes they reach a threshold and they say, no, I'm not going to give you internet until a certain amount of days. Sometimes there are background apps. We live in an age where phones do all of our work. So sometimes you can have like you're watching videos, but then your phone also has WhatsApp. Your WhatsApp is still functioning, and your WhatsApp is constantly searching for messages from other people, right? And that is a background app. You're not using that right now. You're watching videos, but it's still scanning for messages, and that could also be using your data. Sometimes watching videos, okay, I did not see that point, but watching videos in high quality. So high quality is basically how clear an image is on your screen. As your image becomes clearer, the data that it takes to actually maintain that image also becomes higher. So when you watch videos in higher quality, your data increases, thus finishing early. And sometimes sharing hotspot also does the same thing. Sometimes in school or in college, you have to share hotspot with your iPad or your laptop or something like that, right? So when you share hotspot, actually a lot of data goes. And you can tell how much data you've actually been using. It's a huge wake up call. You should try it sometime. Like once I did this because my internet at home was not working, and I kept it on for an hour and I started doing my studies, right? And it took 1 GB in 1 hour. And I was not doing anything but looking at one PDF, my textbook, nothing else. I was watching nothing else, and it took 1 GB. It's a huge wake up call because actually a lot of my background apps were using data and I didn't even know about it. Okay. Now, now this comes to, the crux of the problem, how to choose a plan. Now, when you think about, choosing a plan for your phone, you think about how much data do you use per day? How many days do you need this data? Do you need unlimited calls? Do you need to be fielding calls all the time? And are there extra benefits that you get with a certain plan? And are they really useful? Are they something that you will actually use? Because you're paying for everything. Like Mansi said, if we use something, we have to pay for it. So, do you really need to use that thing? Is the question. So, let's start with how much data do I use per day? I'm not saying in any sense that you need to monitor your phone and internet usage by the MB. That is way too much work, and that it just takes away from the joy of being able to connect with people. So sometimes you just need to be able to get an estimate or say, I don't want to use more than 1.5 GB a day. And once you get that, you'll be able to actually choose your plan. Sometimes you need to know how many days you need. So you don't want to keep recharging your bill. So sometimes people choose a 3 month bill. Sometimes people choose a 6 month bill. Sometimes people say, I need to know how much I've been using. I think I'll be able to get a better regulation of my money if I do it every month. So this is another option that you need to consider. Sometimes you need to field a lot of calls. Like when you're doing a project, your classmates are calling you, and they're calling you all at once. If you don't have the internet and if you don't have your recharge in place, you're not going to get those calls. So do you need those unlimited calls? Sometimes these plans do give you unlimited calls. I have this until 7. I've already told you, right? Yes. Ma, I'm on. I need 7. Okay. So, and then sometimes you have plans that give you extra benefits. Like if you take this plan, you'll get a certain amount of GB per day. Sometimes you'll get unlimited calls. Sometimes it'll be valid for more time. Sometimes they give you offers with other companies and things like that. It really depends on your service provider. But are these benefits that you actually need? Because at the end of the day, you're paying for all of it. You might as well know what you're paying for and actually know if you need it. And now, this is a little bit of a real life example. Sometimes you can get a plan for the same amount of days. You can see they're both 28 days, but they cost different. So you would think rightly that the more costlier one will give more GB per day, right? Now, in this, you can see that extra what do I get with paying 50 rupees more? I get zero point 0.5 GB more per day. Maybe they have more offers in terms of unlimited calls. Maybe they have more this thing on so one, they're giving you more data. Two, they're probably giving you more offers with other companies. Three, they're probably giving you things like we can actually refer to the old slide for this one. More data, and also it might give you unlimited calls, right? So, and you can really kind of negotiate if this extra 50 rupees is worth it for you. Now, someone, I think it was Danish again, who was talking about prepaid plan. He had a postpaid plan, I think, and his bill was much higher. So now there's a difference between prepaid and postpaid, and it's pretty comprehensive, but it's very easy to understand. And the thing in prepaid, does anyone know what prepaid is? Does anyone have a prepaid phone charge?
Yes, please.
Sane, you have a prepaid phone charge?
Yes, please.
Nice. Mansi, you also?
Yes, please. Even I do have prepaid plan.
Nice. And who has postpaid? No one has postpaid over here? Mhm. Okay, so then so maybe there is something that you don't know. Amazing. So when it comes to prepaid, you pay before you use it. So at the beginning of the month itself, you try and figure out how much you will need, and then you will pay. Once you complete that amount, it's gone. There's nothing. You'll have to go back and recharge it again. And sometimes, let's say you use less than the amount that you bargained for. Like let's say I paid 250 rupees and I got 0. 0.5 GB a day. But I didn't even use my phone at all for some reason. I think I maybe forgot it in my what? Yeah, I forgot it in my house for 2 weeks because who knows. But because of that, I did not end up using my 0. 0.5 GB per day plan. And because of that, I did not end up, getting to the 15 GB goal. So if I do that, my money is gone. There is nothing more that I can do about it. I can't redeem the money that I didn't use for the next month. right? Now there's a fixed validity. So sometimes it's only worth for 28 days, after which you have to recharge. Sometimes it's, and because of this, because of paying before you use, it's easier to control spending, because once you know that you can only use a certain amount, you'll be very, very conscious that मुझे ऊपर तो नहीं जाना है, right? And like I said, recharge stops when the plan ends because of its validity for 28 days, and also because it has a certain amount of GB, right, that you can use. And this is the best plan usually for students and beginners to be very, very conscious about their money, know where their money is going, be more aware of where the data is really going, where the data is really being used. Now, and postpaid is basically you use first and you pay later. So you can rack up a huge bill and pay a lot, or you can rack up a small bill and pay little. You're not wasting any of your money, but it really depends on how much you use. You get this bill monthly. So on the 1st of every month or the 30th of every month, depends on your provider again, you will get your bill. Your charges can increase with extra usage. It needs a little bit of bill understanding in terms of understanding what your breakup of the fixed usage and taxes are. And it is best for regular heavy users. So this is better when you're being more money conscious, and this one is better when you just want to have a good time, you know? So that is how postpaid versus prepaid works. Does anyone have any questions? No, we're all good. Yes, Mohita.
How do billing cycle work for postpaid plans?
How does what?
Billing cycle work for postpaid charges. Plan money.
Billing title?
Billing cycle like what bill is for.
Billing cycle. Okay. So we know that in every month, other than the month that we are now in, February, you have 30 or 31 days. So you will get your bill at the end of those. Sometimes what happens with these prepaid plans is sometimes you end up having to pay at the middle of the month, because not every month has the same number of days. Not every month has 28 days. So one time, so let's say I started in January, my first bill will come on January 28th. Then it will come on Feb 26th. Then it will come on March 24th, right? So do you see how the timing changes? How I can't really anticipate early on that I will get it at the start of the month or the end of the month. It will keep changing. That is how it happens. Mhm.
Yes.
Anyone else? Everyone else is clear? All right, okay. So uh, at the end of the day, you really want to know which one is better. And I am sorry to tell you that I can't tell you what that is. It really depends on who you are, what you use, how much you use, and how much, are you planning to save more? Are you planning to just be available, be able to connect? Are you willing to track what you spend? Are you willing to get a reliable time when bill pay karna hai kind of thing? So when you want strict spending control, you would want a prepaid because you only have certain amount that you can use. Otherwise, you have to go back and recharge. That is also too much work for us nowadays. You don't want surprise bills. You get surprise bills in postpaid sometimes because your usage is so much higher. When it comes with prepaid, you know that your recharge will stop once that amount of spending is done. But with postpaid, you can get a huge bill and baba ye kidhar se aa gaya? Sometimes you could have used a lot. So you could be prone to surprises with postpaid. And when you're learning to manage your money, when you're learning to just be on your own without your parents, when they don't do everything for you probably want to be a little more money conscious, right? So this is when you might want a prepaid. Now, what happens with postpaid? You understand bills well already. You understand what exactly you were paying for. Your usage is stable every month. It moves a little bit, but it doesn't move a lot. So you don't really get these surprise bills that no one likes. You can also track extra charges much easier because postpaid, so when you understand bills better, you can understand what you're being charged for. So when you understand that, you can understand what your extra charges also are, right? And so this is this is the reason why I, had this session with you, because I think clear explanations should not be a privilege, they are a right. Everyone deserves clear explanations, no matter who they are, where they are, or what they do. And this is the reason why I started my project called Explain My Bill. And it was because when at the age of 7, I had a bill, and my parents just gave it to me, and I did not know what was in it. So I was like, okay, auntie, can you tell me what is in this bill? They were not able to tell me. I asked them, do you know what you're paying for? Why do you think there's 500 rupees in there? They didn't know. There was, sometimes when you go to a grocery bills, you see all those barcode things, right? I was 7 and dumb. I did not know anything. So I did not know what a barcode was. I asked them. The only thing that was the only thing they were able to tell me. And that is when I realized the awareness around bills is so incredibly low. And if you do know what that is, it's going to help you so much understanding in what you're paying for. And which is why I started this entire project. And this is a project where I take bills from people, basically of your water, electricity, mobile, any other bills that you might have, like a Netflix subscription. Does anyone watch Netflix over here? Someone said they watched cricket. Where do they watch? Yes, Kushagra. You have Netflix? Uh-huh. Nice. No one else has Netflix? Netflix, Sony, Hotstar, Tata Sky, nothing. Tata Sky we have. Hotstar, okay. So basically, we have all of these streaming services, and I take these bills of all these types. And now today, I've given you like a very small slice of the pie, helping you understand what a bill, contains. There are so many things more that you can do to try and bring down the cost of your bill and be more in control of what you're paying and how much you're paying, right? And that is a kind of service that I'm providing, where I take your bills of these several types and I give them back to you with a clear explanation of the breakups and what you can do to save more money. And sometimes I would be able to notice, you're having an extra charge. Maybe let's evaluate that. Let's see where that is going. All of those kinds of things. And if you would be interested in helping me out to get to where my goal is, which is to analyze 200 bills by the next 3 months, it would be awesome. You would be able to get a lot more control over what you pay for. You'd be a lot more empowered, and this is like a symbiotic relationship. Both of us win at the end of the day. Um, and does anybody have any questions? All silent? No questions at all. Thank you, Mansi. We're all clear on everything. So, do you think that when you see a bill next time, you'll maybe not feel so scared, and you'll not feel like, oh my God, मुझे bill आ गया, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, मैं क्या, मैं किसके लिए pay कर रही हूँ? Do you think you will feel like that anymore? No, no, no. That's a lot of confidence. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciated. Um, and I think that comes to the end of my presentation. So I was hoping that you really enjoyed this whole session. I hope that you got as much fun out of it as I had, thinking of this with Miss Nikita and, planning this entire presentation out. I hope you learned something today. I hope you're more confident when it comes to bills. And I hope that you'll be more empowered while asking questions. I think it was Mohita that came up with that question of what happens during builds. And I think, wow, my laptop is a circus jungle today. So I just hope that you're more confident to ask questions. I hope you understand that you are not alone in this race. I hope you understand that everyone has to start from somewhere, and this is your starting point. So I think if there is nothing else, ma'am, we can take over.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you so
Danish.
much. Yes, Danish, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to share the feedback. I think people neglect this topic as like it is a very small topic, but I think these topics create very impact. For example, we must know about the importance of prepaid and postpaid. When I was small, I thought postpaid is like okay, पहले हम use कर लेंगे, then पैसा दे देंगे. But later on, I came to know the more you use, the more money you have to give. It's not like prepaid. So there I came to know then how we can save the bills, like if we get some cashback offer or XYZ. So like I think this session was very insightful and very informative. Like really love the session.
Thank you so much. And I really
Welcome.
love the fact that you were very proactive. You asked the questions, you brought up your own experiences. It's a two-way street at the end of the day. I can't help you if you won't help yourself. And you definitely did. Great job today.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you so much, Dhriti, for being here and, talking about something that's so important. And I just hope that we are able to use this knowledge. And the way Dhriti said, I hope reading bills or looking at bills won't scare you now. So, yeah. Also, feel free to send in your bills if you would like to. Dhriti would be analyzing it for you. She will also provide a good breakdown of your bills and how you can save a little more, whenever you get a bill. So it can be any bill, electricity bill, phone recharge bill, water bill. And in order to maintain the anonymity, we can also, you can feel free to, hide the name or anything so that it feels anonymous. So yeah, it would be great if you can help us in this initiative. You can reach out to me. I'm there on the group and I can share the bill with Triti further.
Mhm. I also wanted to add, thank you so much, ma'am, for that. I also wanted to add that within 3 days of me receiving the bill, I will get it out. I do have my exams right now, which is why it is 3 days. Otherwise, it would have been two or one. But I am very committed to helping you get more empowered, helping you understand more about these bills.
Great.
Yeah,
Perfect. Can we take a commemorative photograph? Maybe everybody can come on screen if possible. I'll take a screenshot. Cool. We are waiting for Kushagra and Khushi. Yeah. Thanks, Khushi. Thanks, Kushagra. Okay. Everybody's ready? Yeah, I got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye. Take care.
thank you so much,
Thank you
everyone.
so
Bye.
much. Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Priti. Bye bye.
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 Thank you.